Bit of a late start to spring this year, but I've heard of the first couple early nitrogen passes on wheat finally happening this week. So here's a couple of frequently asked questions about herbicide and fungicide applications on your winter wheat. How's the wheat looking? So this is my first time actually checking a winter wheat field this spring. I was thinking we would be in pretty good shape with all the snow cover this winter to insulate things. Unfortunately, what we have now after the last couple of storms is a lot of water laying in fields. So if the wheat is dormant, it can survive for up to 7 days underwater. If it started to come out of dormancy, it's only going to be able to survive about 3 to 4 days if it's fully submerged. So I think, unfortunately, we're going to be into some patchy wheat in some of those fields this spring. Herbicide can be sprayed up to the flag leaf stage. If you run out of time, please don't spray your herbicide late. The yield impact from injuring the flag leaf will be much larger than the impact of the weed pressure. If you're dealing with tough to control perennials like dandelion or perennial sow thistle, Infinity FX can be spiked with AMS and 2,4-D or MCPA. Just scan the QR code on the top of your box to find this chart. It is safe to double crop soybeans after spring application of Infinity FX, but we don't recommend planting winter canola. And if you're underseeding with red clover, you'll need to use Bactrilem instead of Infinity FX. If you're only planning on one fungicide pass, you'll see the best yield response from a T2 or a T3 application. If you're planning a 2-pass program, you can only take mix with your herbicide at T1, so in most cases a T1 plus T3 program is the most efficient and economical option. But if you already applied your herbicide in the fall, or if you need to split up your applications for other reasons like temperature restrictions or other take mix partners, there is a bit of a yield benefit to spraying your Deliro Complete or Stratego Pro at T2 instead of T1. It's always challenging to find a good window to spray in the early spring, and looking at the forecast and the nighttime temperatures we have coming up, it's going to be especially hard this year. At the bare minimum, you need to be waiting 24 hours after a frost to spray your herbicide. It's just not going to work as well if it's too cold and weeds aren't actively growing. And cold nighttime temperatures weaken the cuticle, the waxy outer layer on the leaf surface, leaving it more susceptible to injury. This is especially a concern when you're tank mixing your herbicide and your fungicide because of the additional surfactant in the fungicide, and your risk will be even higher if you're mixing in other things like plant growth regulators and foliar fertilizers. If you have to spray when temperature conditions are less than ideal, you can reduce your risk quite a bit by splitting up your applications, going early with your herbicide, and then come back in with your Deliro Complete at flag leaf. And using a higher water volume also helps a lot to reduce injury if you're spraying when it's cold. Hopefully things start to warm up and the wheat's looking like this soon.